Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth? The answer is time. 6 months, a year, 2 years. It's all a matter of time where one conspiracy theory after another turns out, more often than not, to come to fruition, turn out to be true with one source of evidence after another. And well, in the gaming industry, as of late, lots of speculation and tinfoil hat and conspiracies are running rampant. And the subject of today's tinfoil hat conspiracy that looks to be coming true is Grand Theft Auto 6. 2.5 years ago, Bloomberg, Jason Schreier, put out this article, and a lot of people were talking about it, and we were just brushed aside and ignored. Grand Theft Auto, as you can see, date on it, July 27th, 2022, almost 2.5 years ago. Have a female hero, who cares? Scales back racist and sexist jokes. Well, now that's where the problem comes into play. Numerous people made videos about it. I can't remember if I did or not, but I know there was a lot of discussion online, and I was thinking to myself, if Rockstar Games decides to go down this route and scaling back their racist and sexist jokes and chooses a protected class in their game, well, then the game is going to be moving too far, entirely too far, in my opinion, away from what made the original games so much fun. The crass, vulgar humor. In this lovely little article over here, says developers of Rockstar Games are also reportedly abandoning the series' record of making crude, potentially offensive jokes. Potentially offensive. They're all offensive. That's why they're jokes. About minority groups, the developers are being cautious to not punch down. Oh, boo friggin' who. Just make the jokes. It's what people love about the game. Anytime I've talked about it, I've wondered, it's like, why would you stray so far away at the expense of such groups, according to the reports? And of course, one thing after another. As of late, Endymion has come out with a bunch of reports of the goings-on and the DEI instructions inside the studio. Different reports, such as Grand Theft Auto developer targeting white people with DEI indoctrination courses. Now, why on earth would you do that in your studio? That doesn't seem right to me. Another one from that Park Place. Is GTA 6 woke? Oh my goodness, what kind of question is that? It's Grand Theft Auto. Rockstar Games wouldn't do that, right? Brushed aside, ignored the speculation and the concern. DEI employees certifications highlight the quiet shift threatening. And again, like I said, Endymion came out with a video just 5 days ago at the time of this recording. Grand Theft Auto 6 exposed silences white male developers, and of course the naysayers, the detractors, the people who can't stand anything that we are fighting for and against. Tried to flush his name down the toilet over and over again. And yet, here we are, over at comicbook.com, yet another report from Jason Schreier at Bloomberg. Rockstar Games reportedly asks GTA 6 writers to be less crude towards transgender people and other minorities. Again, this is something that was reported 2.5 years ago, but really only led to speculation because, again, we asked the question, why would Rockstar try and tank their bread and butter franchise? It makes no sense. But when you realize that all of these studios, regardless of what they were in the past, have been infested with the plague of woke, ideological, checkbox, nonsense, activists, it is across the industry. According to a new report, Rockstar Games has asked writers in GTA 6, the next installment of Grand Theft Auto series, to be less crude. Shame on you. Towards transgender people and other minorities, because we just have to have a protected class when it comes to comedy. Why doesn't none of the text gets any bigger whenever I try to expand it? I'm old, I can't read. Why is there a protected class when it comes to comedy? You can't take a joke? You can't laugh at yourself? Well, if you can't laugh at yourself, wait a little while. We'll laugh at you for you. The report comes from Bloomberg, specifically Jason Schreier. You have your opinions on what sort of job he does, but he is Regardless of how long he may or may not wait to put out a report or a book to cash in on one issue or another, he does come out with information. It's pretty reliable information. Again, regardless of your opinions on how long it takes him to come out with that information. One of the best sources in the industry, he's still a D-bag, and a source who has proven reliable when it comes to both Rockstar Games and Grand Theft Auto 6. Again, he's the one that broke the report about not wanting to punch down because we're going to moral grandstand in a video game whose title is a felony, Grand Theft Auto. Previous installments had you having a little bit of fun with the lady of the evening and then using her as a speed bump to get your money back. But we're going to get away from that because, we don't want to hurt the modern audience's feelings. They're not going to buy your game anyway. The report doesn't elaborate on why Rockstar Games has asked its writers to make this change. Oh, dear comicbook.com, we know why. They're trying to cater to the modern audience that does not exist. They do not exist. It is for one thing and one thing only.
The message.
That's it. No other reason. Or what type of material impact it has on the game's development. Well, it's going to cause it to go into development for longer because they have to make changes. There is a possibility that at the beginning of GTA 6's development cycle, it's going to be no or not much of a difference from its previous iterations. But unfortunately, over the past few years, particular consultancy groups that want to take the marketing department out for coffee and terrify them of what may or may not happen if they don't agree to their terms have shown their, particular side. They've crawled out from under the rocks and become more visible in the limelight, more visible in the sun, which is a great disinfectant. And perhaps they got their grubby little mitts on the game, which leads to longer development times because they have to go and make the changes because you just can't upset those protected groups. All that is specifically claimed is that Rockstar is, quote, is asking its writers to be less crude towards transgender people and other minorities, the common target of throwaway gags in previous versions, because you're a coward. You are breaking away from what made your game so much fun to begin with. Granted, people don't play the online game, the online portion of it, where Rockstar makes all of its money ridiculous on shark cards. That's not where the fun lies. That's not where all these crass little jokes. Those jokes come into play in the single-player aspects, which has people laughing and rolling, laughing at themselves occasionally. Why move so far away from what made your game so popular? Giggity. Beyond this, the report mentions the game has not been in development for as long as people think. Oh, really? Full development only beginning in 2018. That was 6 years ago. That's not that long. 6 years is not long enough or whatever. Once Red Dead Redemption 2 was released, despite this, it appears the GTA 6 release date is still on track to release holiday 2025. People don't be surprised if it's delayed till 2026. Lots of speculation behind that, but hey. Meanwhile, it is said that the game will feature a significant online mode, of course, because Rockstar wants to continue to make their oodles and oodles and oodles of money because, well, Scrooge McDuck's vault is just not full enough from shark card purchases. Bolstered by in-game content. That said, this is to be expected considering the massive success of GTA Online. Well, the financial success because, again, shark cards. And it's probably one of the reasons why, Rockstar has not been interested in developing GTA 6 because they are making all the money off of 5 online. Take this report with a grain of salt. But Jason Schreier is just so reliable. It's the second time this information has come out from Bloomberg and from Jason Schreier. Pretty much, what reason do we have to not believe the almighty Jason Schreier? Both reliable and reputable sources. This is not official information. You actually think they're going to give official information? It's one thing after another coming out about Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto 6. Where there is smoke, there is fire. And even if it is accurate, it is unclear to what extent it is accurate. Well, considering the probability that Sweet Baby Stench is involved with Rockstar, got their grubby little mitts infesting the entire studio, or at least portions of the studio, taking the marketing department out for coffee, well, it is not difficult to believe, especially to top it all off, the, well, direction that AAA studios are heading right now. Whether or not they get rid of their DEI departments or not, hiding them amongst the sheep, hiding the wolves amongst the sheep, so to speak. At the moment of publishing, Rockstar Games has not commented, and they won't, on the report in any capacity. Like, why would you think they would? We do not suspect this will change for a variety of reasons, primarily because Rockstar Games never comments on rumors or speculation. Well, again, it's only rumor and speculation until the game comes out and we see it to be true. Or to be fair, whether or not it's false. It does, let's see. But if it does, we will be sure to update the story accordingly. Ah, yes, we'll update the story accordingly and lick the boots of the AAA studios so we can keep getting that lovely, juicy, wonderful access. Time and time again, we make speculation based on one thing or another and what a game is going to end up being. And time again, those speculation ends up being true. How often or how long is it going to take? What amount of information is going to take for developers to realize that the average gamer doesn't want this nonsense? Nobody wants Grand Theft Auto 6 to be less crude towards anyone. They want them to be extra crude, double down crude, exponentially crude, because it's funny. Rockstar Games has made it funny in the past, absurdly funny. It's what's drawn people to the game. Do it all, put it all in, double down, triple down, and stop listening to these so-called consultancy groups who are trying to convince you that the modern audience is a thing. You want to make money? Cater to the immature, juvenile, crude, crass audience that you already have. We are here with our wallets ready and willing to play a good game. But you have to make it fun first, fuckers. Let me know what you think in the comments about this report. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things us YouTubers beg you to do, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.